Okay guys, meal prepping. For those of you who don't know what meal prepping is or how to meal prep, unfortunately you're stuck a little far behind, and this is something you need to get onto and start doing straight away, okay? Prepping your meals is very, very important. Now, when it comes to getting in shape, whether you want to build muscle or drop fat, or with anything in life that you want to be successful at, you need to have a plan. I know it's basic, boring advice, but if you go into something and have no idea what you're doing, the chances of you failing are a lot higher, okay? Don't get me wrong, failing's not always a bad thing. If you fail, it means you learn, you find out why you failed, and you fix those mistakes so you don't do them again next time, okay? Now, however though, if you plan ahead, look into something before you start, know exactly what it takes to be successful at what you're about to do, not only do you learn faster, but the chances of being successful are a lot higher, okay? If you can stop mistakes from happening before they occur, obviously that's a really good outcome, and meal prepping definitely fits into this situation. When we're dieting to get in shape, we eat good, clean foods 7 days a week. Whether it's building muscle or dropping body fat, the same principle applies. Then we have one cheat meal on top of that as a reward for our hard work, maybe on like a Saturday night or a Sunday night in front of the TV, just to reward ourselves for the hard work during the week. So for a male, you should be eating anywhere from 6 to 8 meals a day. So the reason we need to eat so frequently is because eating frequently is one of the only ways to increase the speed of your metabolism, which allows your body to drop fat faster, absorb more of the nutrients from the good quality food that you're eating. So if you're eating, let's say, 7 times a day, 7 days per week, that equals to a total of about 49 meals. How the hell are you going to consume 49 meals in a week without buying takeaway all the time or snacking on junk or basically taking the easy way out? I can read your mind and know exactly what you're thinking. There's a very, very simple answer, and that's to prepare your meals in advance and make sure you always have them on hand wherever you go. Okay, so the key to being successful in dieting is to make sure you have all your food on hand, ready to eat whenever you need it. If you don't have your meals with you, you're going to get very hungry. And I know when I personally get hungry, I get very moody, and all I want to do is eat something bad. Okay, my girlfriend calls it hangry. Hungry and angry at the same time. So if you go to work and you don't have any lunch, it's highly likely you're going to have to go purchase something to eat to get you by until you get home. It's also likely you're not going to be able to find something healthy, so you'll end up eating something bad. If you do this multiple times a week, it all starts to add up every week, you're not going to start seeing any progress at all. So you need to have all your meals cooked, ready to go with you all the time, so you don't give in to temptations and you're able to stay strict with your diet. Now I'm going to be 100% honest with you and tell you that I do all of my own cooking. I know exactly what I'm asking you to do, how long it takes, how hard it can be to find the time, but it could be the single most important factor of your success in this program. So you need to find the time to prepare your meals. Do whatever works for you. To make it seem like less of a chore for yourself, or for myself, I put a movie on the TV so that I can see it from the kitchen and do all my cooking and my prepping while I'm watching a movie. Okay, that's just something that I do to make it seem like less of a chore for myself. It doesn't have to be boring and mundane. You can put on your favourite music, you can dance around the kitchen, do your cooking, have a little karaoke, whatever works for you, okay? So, of my 7 meals a day, one is breakfast, which I make on a daily basis, one's my post-workout shake, which I make on a daily basis, and one is dinner, which most of the time is pre-prepped and ready to be heated up. One is my before bed meal, which is usually a casein shake and either some Greek yogurt or peanut butter, which I also make on a daily basis. So really at the end of the day, I'd say the majority of you, me as well, will only need to meal prep about 3 meals a day, maybe 4. Breakfast is easy. You make it every morning before work. Post-workout's just a shake, so it's very, very simple as well. If you don't have the time to make dinner, which most people don't, then that can be included in part of the meal prep. Your before bed shake with either peanut butter or Greek yogurt only takes about 30 seconds to prepare, so that's very, very easy as well. So really it's either going to be 3 or 4 meals depending on whether or not you decide to meal prep your dinner that you need to have there ready for you to eat on a daily basis. So what I do for my meal prep is usually on a Sunday and a Wednesday. So Sunday I cook my meals for Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then on Wednesday night I cook my meals on for Thursday, Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So I find cooking twice a week as opposed to once a week is a lot more effective and also a lot more enjoyable, as you never need to freeze your food and the food always stays relatively fresh. Okay, so on Sunday you're cooking for 3 days in advance, and on Wednesday you're cooking for 4 days in advance. You can cook once per week and freeze the meals if you're really finding it hard to find the time, but I do recommend doing it twice a week as part of your weekly routine. Yes, I know it can be a massive pain in the ass and it is a little time consuming, but if it were easy, everyone would look amazing, wouldn't they? So I like to cook on Sunday and Wednesday because that best suits my life. So if it suited your life better, you could make it Mondays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Fridays, or Wednesday and Saturday, just whatever works best for you. It really doesn't matter, whatever fits into your life, and it's going to be the most realistic situation where you're going to be able to do it consistently without missing it, is going to be the best scenario for you. So there's no right or wrong here. So on Sunday I meal prep 12 meals for myself. I'll be having 4 pre-made meals a day over the next 3 days. In the bodybuilding world, whenever you give someone a diet, or whenever you are following a diet, it's just basically a universal rule that stays pretty consistent, and that is that all food is weighed uncooked. The reason we weigh everything uncooked is, one, because it's easier, and because the nutritional data on the label of almost all foods is usually the raw weight, and that is the best and most accurate to use, because cooked weight varies depending on how long you cook the food for. So the longer you cook something, the more water it loses. So you'll notice when you cook mince in the fry pan, you'll see all the water that it ends up sitting in, because it's boiling the fluid out of the mince. Okay, so everything is just weighed uncooked because it's more accurate reading. So if I'm having 200 grams of uncooked chicken in, let's say, 3 meals, that equals 600 grams of uncooked chicken per day. And if I'm cooking for 3 days in advance, 600 grams times 3 days is 1.8 kilograms of uncooked chicken. So when you go to the grocery store or wherever it is you get your chicken from, you order 1.8 kilograms of raw chicken and you take that home ready to cook up, and that's going to last you for 3 days. If it were 4 days, you'd buy 2.4 kilograms of chicken because you're adding another 600 grams of chicken for another day. I hope that's making sense to you. So when it comes time to cook, you cook all 1.8 kilograms at once, or 2.4 depending on how many days you're accounting for. Cut it up into little pieces, put some nice spices over it, make it look all pretty, get the presentation right for menu, do whatever you need to do to make it taste a little better, but don't go smothering it with tomato sauce or barbecue sauce or aioli, because that will just throw your calories and fats way out. Okay, you still need to be smart about adding flavor. Once it's all cooked, you divide the amount of chicken by 9, because we're cooking for 9 meals, or 12 depending on how many days, and we put it all in separate little containers. So I don't know what the cooked weights are. It really doesn't matter. I never do anything cooked. It's always raw weight. Okay, so if you divide the end amount of cooked chicken equally by 9 or 12, depending on how many days, you're obviously going to have pretty close to 200 grams of raw chicken in each container, or the equivalent to raw chicken. You do the same thing with, let's say, sweet potato. If you're having 300 grams of uncooked sweet potato over 6 meals, you'll purchase 1.8 kilograms of sweet potato, cook it all up and divide it by 6. You do the same thing with white rice. If you're having 100 grams of white rice over 3 meals, you get 300 grams of uncooked white rice, cook it all up and divide the end quantity by 3 into 3 separate containers. Okay, makes sense? Clear as mud? Cool. Now, I personally don't really weigh my greens. I just go off the theory of the more the merrier. Okay? To be honest, I don't really enjoy eating my greens. They aren't exactly the most delicious food on the planet, but the fiber, the vitamins and minerals you get from all the vegetables actually play a massive part in the recovery of the muscle, in your day-to-day energy levels and your overall health as well. So I do try to eat as much of them as I can. You cook your chicken, you cook your sweet potato, you cook your white rice, you put all the divided amounts into separate containers. You have 3 meals a day for the next 3 days, or 4 meals a day for the next 4 days, depending on how many meals you're doing and how many days you're accounting for. and they're ready to be eating wherever you are, whenever you may need them. Okay? Now, this is a very effective method and is more important than you can imagine when it comes to seeing results in the gym. If you have your food with you at all times and you still cheat on your diet, that's just not acceptable, and it's pure laziness or pure lack of willpower. Okay? There is absolutely no excuse for it. The only person to blame is yourself if that keeps happening. So cook your meals, be organised, and plan ahead. We don't spend hours in the gym, spend a ton of money on food and supplements to get average results. Put in the work, get the right food into you, and do things properly. This is just part of the process. Meal prepping is very easy. It just takes a little time, but I promise you, if you suck it up and do it for 3 or 4 weeks, get all your workouts done, you will be instantly hooked on the results, and it will become part of your day-to-day life. You just need to make it part of your routine and try your best to get used to it, okay? I promise you it will happen. Just quickly, I want to go over 2 things because I think they're very relevant, and I want to reinforce this to you because I believe it makes a massive difference, okay? In my meal prep, you would have heard me say 6 meals of chicken and sweet potato over 3 days, 3 meals of chicken and white rice over 3 days. You may be thinking, why wouldn't he just do all sweet potato meals and not worry about cooking the white rice, as it's just creating more work for yourself when you're meal prepping? So sweet potato is a low GI carbohydrate, and we eat sweet potato throughout the day for our pre-workout meal. And the reason for this is it's a low GI carb. It gives you sustained energy release with very little to no insulin spike. Okay, if you can understand that, low GI, hardly any or no insulin spike whatsoever. High GI, massive insulin spike. You see the difference. So it's the perfect meal to have before a workout because it's going to help fuel you for a long period of time through your workout. Then we have our white rice meal, which is a high GI carbohydrate post-workout because it's the one that spikes your insulin and pushes the nutrients into the muscle immediately, like putting a turbo on your car. It's going to help you repair, rebuild, and grow your muscles a lot faster. So even though it's a little more work having to cook another type of carb, I am a big believer in nutrient timing and the effect it has on your body. I always like to get it right. I want to be doing literally everything I can to get the best results possible, and I want you to be doing the same. The other thing I want to mention, I actually find this one a little funny, okay? My clients say to me all the time, Ben, I'm going away for the weekend, I'm sure I'll still be able to find a gym, but I don't think I'll be able to keep to my diet. That is absolute rubbish. And I laugh at them when they come to me and tell me that. You can always meal prep your meals the day before you go away and take them with you. There is always a solution. Meal prepping is a very effective way to stay honest to your diet. These days, there's meal bags specifically designed for people that meal prep, okay? It's a massive, massive market now. One of them, for example, are a brand called Six Pack Fitness. I've got 2 or 3 of their bags. They make meal prep bags with little shelves in them for your containers, little pockets in them for ice packs, and they actually provide the ice packs with the bag, so they fit the pockets perfectly. These bags keep your food cold for well over 24 hours. It gives you plenty of time to get to a fridge or freezer when you go away and get to wherever you're going. Meal prepping these days can be very, very easy to do. They take the excuses out of all of it, okay? I've even turned up to family birthday dinners at fancy restaurants with my chicken and vegetables in little containers so that I didn't break my diet. I definitely would have looked like an idiot, but who cares what people think? I certainly didn't. Who cares what people think when they see you walking around with a little bag or an esky or whatever full of your prep meals? People will look at you funny. People will probably bag you out and try and put you down because, unfortunately, that's just what people like to do, okay? They look to put you down because it makes them feel better about themselves and not doing it, okay? But at the end of the day, you're the one getting in shape, you're the one being a good role model, you're the one who has better dedication, and the only time someone will ever put you down is if they are jealous. Come summertime, when you take your shirt off at the beach and they see you, they've got their dad bod, they're drinking beer, they're going to be like, oh, maybe there is a method to his madness. They will find out. So you should never feel the need to put someone down. Always bring people up, make their day better. Karma is a real thing. It does exist. okay? Honestly, if you're passionate about something, it means a lot to you, just do whatever you need to do and be proud of it. Don't change for anyone, don't live to impress other people, and as long as you have your family, a few close friends, your health, your partner, do whatever makes you happy, okay? I don't really think meal prepping will make you happy at the time because it is a pain in the ass, but I'm sure it will annoy the shit out of you, but I promise you, do it for 16 weeks, nail your training, nail your cardio, and you'll do it for the rest of your life. Now, just before I let you go, a few key points to remember from this video. If you want to be successful in either building muscle or dropping fat, it is so important that you start prepping your meals and always have them on hand wherever you go, okay? If you don't have your meals with you, you're going to get hungry, and when you get hungry, you have no food on hand, that's when you're going to cheat on your diet. You're going to go to the drive-thru at Macca's or Hungry Jack's or wherever it is you might be. You need to stop this before it happens. I recommend meal prepping 2 nights a week as the food never goes off and you never have to freeze it. If you cannot meal prep 2 nights a week, 1 night is also fine, but you will need to freeze some of them, okay? Meal prepping is time consuming and is a little annoying. You have to do it, but it's a crucial part in reaching your training goals, okay? Good luck, guys. I hope this all made sense to you. Any questions, you can always email me or get in touch with me on the group on Facebook. Happy prepping. Talk soon, guys.